This is your weekly trip to paradise, Louisiana style, with Gary Risponi and Don Dubuque. Paradise, Louisiana is presented by Rotolo's Pizzeria. Fresh ingredients, friendly service. That's just the way we Rotolo. Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. Pro Drive Outboards. Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company. Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change. Cracker Barrel Convenience Stores. We have more than you expect. Always fresh, never frozen, Raising Cane's. Louisiana Fish Fry Products. And by CCA Louisiana and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament.
Welcome to Paradise, Louisiana. Here we are on Segan Lane. Superior Bait and Tackle, and Don, I know you're going to fuss at me, but I went to a function the other day. What is the place you associate fishing and football with any community in Louisiana?
Fishing and football. It would probably have to be Lafourche Parish, maybe.
You so smart.
Lately,
right.
anyway.
Well, that's right. Well, I was down in Fruit. They had coaches all day. I went to the banquet. I went down there with Gil and Michelle. Rode with them, stayed at his mama, Miss Julia, who is a Hall of Fame down there. At the Civic Center, where coming up in a few weeks, they're going to have the big game supper, the 20th annual. Mm-hmm. And you know, I've been there a couple of years. It was amazing. Some people say 1,500. I heard somebody say 1,800. It was packed. It was raining. Coach O stole the show. Everybody you know in football and fishing. A lot of captains were there, the Gidries and all the captains, and the new captains I met, trying to set up fishing trip. I wish they'd have told me a little bit more, and I wouldn't have got up so late. But that's what I got. I got a few scenes from there, some of the great athletes, to see how much they love this purpose. Bobby Hebert now has got to take second place. By the way, he stayed on the mic a good while. He had to introduce the whole 1977 state champions. He's talked about every one of them. And you know how, Bobby? That's your cohort over there at WWL. He's very entertaining. He held court for a little bit longer than I thought, but I understand where he was coming from. What a fun night. Food was excellent. Everything was good. The fishing trip was a black cloud day the next day. We'll talk more about that later. And Don, that's basically what I got. And then you're going to be talking about hogs, and we got some more reports on.
Yeah, Flambeau Outdoor News segment, we're going to talk about the situation, whether Louisiana should do as Texas is doing and make use of a poison to help eradicate the feral hog problem. We'll talk about that. I thought I was going to have a black cloud day. It was perfectly a bluebird day. We had a front that passed through, wind was blowing, it kind of dropped off, but got a great chance to go with two good fishermen. Had one on each side of me. Captain Ryan Lambert of Cajun Fishing Adventures. We were on his home turf. Captain Mike Gallo on the other side, catching bull reds mixed with some really, I guess you'd call them bull bass, all in the same water on the same cast, using three different baits.
Yeah, y'all making me sick. And the fishing report, I'm going to show you one of my friends catching big bass, all down there, and that's what I like. That's my favorite fishing, where I can catch reds, specks, and bass. The captain told me that, so you keep on putting it on me.
All right, well, we got all of that, plus a hunting report and our Berkeley Abu Garcia fishing report right here on Paradise, Louisiana.
Hey, I'm Mitch Rotolo, owner of Rotolo's Pizzeria. Our pizzas are prepared every day using the freshest ingredients. But Rotolo's has so much more to offer than just delicious pizza. We have an array of healthy salads and tasty wraps, a wide choice of pasta like spaghetti and chicken parmesan, zesty buffalo wings, and our selection of savory calzones. And don't forget to try one of our amazing desserts. Come into any of our local restaurants or check out our entire menu online at rotolos.com. That's just the way we Rotolo.
Everybody should be watching your show on Paradise, Louisiana. Amen.
Who doesn't want to save money on fuel? Now, Shell and the Fuel Rewards Network are putting you in control of how much you pay for fuel. Simply buy whatever's on your shopping list. Clothes, groceries, even dinner out. And earn cents per gallon savings at participating retailers nationwide. Now, fuel prices are in your hands. So why wait? Sign up at fuelrewards.com today and turn shopping power into saving power.
Visit Cracker Barrel convenience stores before heading fishing or hunting. We have more than you expect.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. Today we're at Superior Bait and Tackle on Segan Lane in Baton Rouge, your headquarters for Baton Rouge fishing supplies. Gary, got a chance to go down to Buras, Cajun Fishing Adventures, Ryan Lambert. Had some bad weather, came through early part of the week, kind of left us with residual strong north winds. Started off pretty chilly, but kind of warmed up later in the day. Brought along Captain Mike Gallo, so I had two professionals, one on each side of me. Mike and Ryan kind of hit it off when we had our little get-together last week, and Mike wanted to go down and see Ryan's place and talk to him, get some tips on expanding his business, which he's doing, while we fished. As luck would have it, or coincidence, we all ended up wearing the same color. In fact, my cameraman had the same color too. It was a red kind of day. We were all dressed in red, all four of us really. Which kind of made it hard to decide who was catching what.
No, a week later.
Yeah, Valentine. Yeah, it could have been. Well, Ryan, we crossed the river, went on to the east side, and found a canal that ran parallel to the levee, not far away from it at all, and searched and searched, looking for the cleanest water we could find. A lot of that river water pouring through there's got it muddy. Couldn't find any bait movement, didn't see any fish moving at first. Ryan, because of his extensive knowledge of fishing down there for so long, he was confident there would be fish there, and there were. We were catching redfish that seemed like I think they drank a Red Bull, speaking of red, on the way down there. They were fighting fish when they hit, and they were mixed in with some really good bass. I even commented we could have won a bass tournament based on what we had, and we could have won a redfish tournament if we'd have been in a slot red tournament where you get two redfish between 16 and 27 inches. Each of us used one bait apiece, different baits. I was throwing just a regular jig head with a soft plastic. Ryan was throwing a spinnerbait, and Mike was throwing a chatterbait. All three baits were successful, catching both species, redfish and bass, and really ended up with a pretty good day. All artificial. You know Ryan, I call him the plastic man. He don't allow live bait on his boat.
Yeah, and Towfield's even worse than that.
But
let me say this, you talking about winning a tournament. There's a lot of people, some of them started, but they don't do it. What we need in Louisiana is a combination redfish, bass.
Been talking about it.
And like you said, it was two redfish, three redfish, even a limit, you know.
Well, the only problem, if it's a problem, you'd be limited on where you could hold those, because not every area's got the mix of fish.
I know.
In them, but there's a lot of places that do. And
that's what I'm saying. I would like it. Would be indigenous to the area you fish. That would be one way to promote those areas.
Well, we're going to take you down there now and let you watch some of the action. Captains Ryan Lambert and Mike Gallo fishing redfish and bass down on the east side of Plaquemines Parish. Well, I guess red's the color of the day. We've been wearing red, and we seeing red, and we catching red.
You know, when you're out here every day, you got to find fish every day. So you know where to go when it's things like this. But what we did, we went, you know, it was real cold last night. We had a late front. And we went to where the water's gonna be warmer and cleaner. You go to back edges of canals and on the lee side of a bay that gets the sun and is lee shore where the wind didn't blow on it. All those spots are gonna be a little bit warmer. Oyster beds, because they're darker, you know, later on with the sun, you could go and fish those oyster beds because that dark color is gonna be a little bit warmer. And, you know, you think, well, how much warmer could it be? But you're talking about a cold-blooded animal, so it doesn't take but a degree or two to get them activated.
How would you describe the bite today, and then in terms of technique, how did you apply it?
I tell you what, the ones that I did catch, they hammered it. I mean, hammered it. So, you know, it just depends a lot on what kind of bait. You know, we're throwing a chatterbait and the spinner bait, and that emulates a crab. So when they get a crab, they wanted it back so you could crush it on the crusher. So when they hit it hard. A minute, they'll just suck that in. So, you know, different baits will get you a different bite as well.
Little old tiny tick. And I set the hook, and then I thought, well, that's a bigger fish than I thought it was. Isn't that nice? Looks just like yours, only bigger.
Look at the gut.
Are bass a surprise back here?
No, we catch them all the time. And there was a couple of nice ones today, though. We had the bass guys wondering, calling me up, where exactly were you?
What do you...
You know, this back in the day used to be all the canals in Bohemia before they did away with that reserve. So just those canals, it's just along the river, and the river water's not here, so they get a little cleaner. You know, it's on the backside. And when the river was 10-2 last week, it's dropping really fast. It's already 7-something, and by the first week of March, it'll be 5 foot, so it's gonna be game on.
Come in the boat. Mine wants to come in the boat real bad. It's a bass.
That's a big old bass.
Whoa, man, why am I not fishing a bass tournament today? Look at that bass. Woo-hoo-hoo. That's a bucket mouth. Look at that.
Now this is perfect. Bass and red.
Bass and red. On the same cast. Bass and reds.
You call that a very versatile guide.
Yeah, Mike, you are.
Very versatile.
We had Captain Mike Gallo out here today. Never fished here before. He caught on pretty quick, didn't he?
He caught a bunch. He put that chatterbait on him and started spanking him. He did miss one.
But somebody caught it, I think.
And then he paid me back.
Here we go, Captain Ryan. All right, good deal. Yes, sir. Redfish back in the bayou, sometimes where you least expect them. But the fishing game report. Whoa, whoa. As I was saying, with the fishing game report, Don Dubuque, Eyewitness News. We got him.
Ask me about my Tempur-Pedic.
Ask me how fast I fall asleep.
Why not talk to someone who's sleeping on the most highly recommended bed in America?
Ask me about staying asleep.
Tempur-Pedic owners are more satisfied than owners of any traditional mattress brand.
Ask me how it feels after 10 years.
Tempur-Pedic, the most highly recommended bed in America.
Ask about Tempur-Pedic at Olin's, where you know you always get the guaranteed low price. Olin's is the only store in Baton Rouge and Lafayette with the full line of Tempur-Pedics.
For the thirsty, for those who hang out in packs, for heroes, for sidekicks, for those who see the glass half empty, for those who see it half full, for those on the right, for those on the left, for those with nicknames, for those with curves, for people that cycle, for people that recycle, for BFFs, for frenemies, for those with style, for lovers, for families, for big families, for everyone.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. And Gary, you know, a lot of people might think this next feature is a stretch, but anytime you talk and anything goes on in Lafourche, football or otherwise, fishing's part of it.
Yeah, fishing's part of it. And that was the one reason I went down there. I was going to kill two birds in one stone. Thank you, Lord, for letting me be there. It was the most exciting night I've seen in a long time. You know, Joe Lever was there. He made the trip. Billy Cannon, Dr. Billy Cannon, you know, up in age, he was there. There were so many Hall of Famers, I'm probably going to leave some out, but I'm going to name a few. Warren Capone was there. Gerald Kegley was there. And then I told you all about Bobby Hebert was there. He was one of the speakers. Ron Estee, Art Cantrell, Don Schwab. And a lot of people don't know, Don Schwab was president of Terrebonne Parish for years. Sheriff Weber was funny as making awards. He was talking about how popular. We gave him a key to the jail. He said, you know, that's just in case some of them players start acting up. You know, he said he might have to use that. He's gonna let him put them in jail. But look, you know, he all about discipline, but he's the love that was down there for Coach. His mama, she was just so, people were so excited. People were calling out her name, Coco. And then Gil Mathern's mama, you know, they all belong to that Civic Center. They go do it and they help put on everything. They go get Meals on Wheels. The elderly people down there, they got games and everything. Civic Center is a real big deal to even top it off, ex-Governor Edwin there was there. His punchline was, he was so glad to have a coach at LSU didn't have an accent. And he was one of many that got standing ovations, but it was all about Coach O. Ed Ogeron, boy, is he popular down there.
Have to take him fishing and hunting when he gets time.
He loves. He been on some other shows before. He loved it, but he wants to be with his boy and his wife Kelly. You ought to see how they took Kelly, and Kelly's been going back and forth. All the people in lives, and look at all the national coaches he coached with, movie stars. You know, between Southern Cal and everything, and but everywhere he went, he talks about fishing, and they also talk about his breakfast was shrimp po' boy and French fries. Now, how you like that? If that's a breakfast of champions, for sure. So we took a little video and we talked about it. Let you see some of that, and then there we go. We got a few sound bites from some of the famous people there, his mom and them. So let's go see it. Steve Ensminger, another Central guy, was there. You know, former LSU player. And they'll watch these people hug. And the state championship team was 77. That's the 40th anniversary. So don't mean to run it too long, but I couldn't let it pass up. And then we come back. We're going to make a black cloud trip. You won't believe it. Everybody else catching fish but us.
trophies and win championships. Thank you for Lafourche High School. Thank you for retiring my jersey. It's the largest honor I've ever received in my life. Thank you. Go Tigers.
Hey, I'm Mitch Rotolo, owner of Rotolo's Pizzeria. Our pizzas are prepared every day using the freshest ingredients. But Rotolo's has so much more to offer than just delicious pizza. We have an array of healthy salads and tasty wraps, a wide choice of pasta like spaghetti and chicken parmesan, zesty buffalo wings, and our selection of savory calzones. And don't forget to try one of our amazing desserts. Come into any of our local restaurants or check out our entire menu online at rotolos.com. That's just the way we Rotolo.
Aggressive, modern, and durable. The latest advancement in spinning has the Revo name on it, and almost a century of fishing expertise in it. No matter where your passion takes you, world-class fishing is only a Revo away.
Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change has been keeping cars and trucks in Baton Rouge clean and running smooth for over 50 years. At Benny's, we feature professional car washing, complete detailing, high-tech waxing and buffing, interior cleaning, and tire shine. Benny's, one stop for car maintenance with complete oil and lube services and even state inspections at our express locations. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations, including our newest store on Greenwell Springs Road. And don't forget to stop by Be Quick Convenience Store and Fuel Stop. Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change. Drive in dirty, drive out clean.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana with Captain Buck Rogers.
As members of a Touchstone Energy cooperative, we've all got a job to do. And the more we work together, the more we save. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. And Gary, you have been known ever since I've known you as the Black Cloud, and you're appropriately dressed today. And it seemed like you were kind of getting out of that Black Cloud role, but now it looks like you're back in it again.
I need to go with you a little more often.
Well, tell us about it.
Well, you know, I really can't take the blame, but it seems like, regardless, when I show up, the man that's a busy running business usually got a brand new boat. He got people. Plug in his chargers, make sure my boat got gas, everything. Well, Gil Mathern and his wife Michelle pulled their boat down there so we could go fishing the next morning with his friends and one of the other guys down there. They called him Captain Wayne Buck Rogers, Lucky Buck Shorters. Now, he works for Crosby, but he does a lot of entertaining for them, plus works for Crosby, and he fishes every chance he gets. Him and his sons and all his friends, they got that network. They go all the way down to Grand Isle, Golden Meadow. Sulphur Mine, Catfish Lake, that's his specialty. Plus, Cloverdale, he got talking about the bass coming up. Got me all excited. I just couldn't wait. Well, we stayed up late at night. Everybody was talking about the assignment. We didn't leave almost midnight when we left the Civic Center, so we didn't get up to about 7:30. He was waiting at the landing. When we finally got there, he didn't want to bring his boat. Gil had his boat. Guess what? Batteries were dead. We got to charge the batteries from the truck. Couldn't even jump off the other one. So that means we didn't have a tow motor. We got the motor running. We didn't have a tow motor. So he said, don't worry about it. We had a lot of redfish. This is where we're going to catch the fish. All of a sudden, boats start coming in. How y'all do? Come on, survive. You know, everybody's showing me boxes of limits, of near limits.
They didn't know you were the Black Cloud.
I was all excited. The weather had cleared up. It wasn't bad. It didn't get bad till the wind started blowing, but even the wind couldn't run the natural way. Hey, that 3M ultratime saved the day. I know you were Amber Romance. But all I'm gonna say is, we went out there to see Gil's wife catch a bunch of fish. Michelle fished hard as you can be. We told her a little trick about casting a zip code. I was gonna teach her later on to this. We were sitting there, the captain would catch a fish, I would catch a fish, and down Michelle wouldn't catch it. All of a sudden, I'm shooting camera, she starts catching. No keepers, everybody else be thinking catching fishes. We work all day in the afternoon. He found some place, had the bull reds and some smaller reds. And that's the story, I'm sticking to it. It wasn't all my fault, Black Cloud. If we'd have been out there earlier, he goes the next day, I'm gonna show you in the fishing report. He goes the next morning, they limit out by 9 o'clock.
But who wasn't there the next morning? Oh, the Black Cloud, right.
Yeah, they did me that, but how was that my fault?
It remains a mystery.
I didn't have nothing to do with charging the batteries. I didn't have nothing to do with them getting up.
Just your presence sometimes accomplishes wonders.
I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna make Captain Buck Rogers look good, because he's already a good captain, great guides. All them guys down there were excited, and they still talking about Coach O. We're gonna go do a trip with Coach O too.
Sounds good.
Soon as spring football practice is over.
I'm Buck Rogers. We're over here at Besson's Landing in Cutoff, Louisiana, and we're fixing to put the Black Cloud to rest. We're gonna be fishing over here. We're gonna use a 1/4 ounce lead head with a smoke grub or a tsunami, and we're gonna bump it off the bottom, and hopefully we catch some beautiful specks in here.
Where are we at?
We're here at Bully Camp Lake, Sulphur Mine area. This is where we're gonna do it.
When I was a kid, this right here, this is a Cadillac place right here. When we were raised, it was on the ground. You didn't have enough money to put it up the camp above ground. You were down on the ground, you were lucky the next morning you get up, they had water in the camp. Put your feet down in the water. I said, now they're pulling them up off the ground so you don't get wet. But this was back then, it's altogether different. You know, the way we live today and way back then, it was rough cut. This is a pleasure to be out here today.
Hang on, don't let it pull you in. Hang on.
Oh, look at that one. That's a trophy there.
Y'all, I'm so afraid that he's going to get off.
Just turn the end of it like that. There you go.
Can't.
Don't let it get the motor. There you got it. Oh, yeah. He's in the
Oh,
floor,
my
baby.
gosh. Oh, my
Oh, that's a nice one.
Oh, my gosh.
Lucky Bug Guide Service. Cutoff, Louisiana. 985-691-2344. Well, they limited out this morning. We had 2 boats limited out early, so you got to be right at daybreak till about 9 o'clock in Catfish Lake.
This week, yeah.
This week. And then by 9, 10 o'clock, when the wind picks up, it's over. So you got to be early.
All we can say is go Tigers, go Coach O.
Go Coach O.
Who doesn't want to save money on fuel? Now, Shell and the Fuel Rewards Network are putting you in control of how much you pay for fuel. Simply buy whatever's on your shopping list. Clothes, groceries, even dinner out. And earn cents per gallon savings at participating retailers nationwide. Now, fuel prices are in your hands. So why wait? Sign up at fuelrewards.com today and turn shopping power into saving power.
Visit Cracker Barrel convenience stores before heading fishing or hunting. We have more than you expect.
Welcome to the Flambeau Outdoor News segment of Paradise, Louisiana. Gary, some news items. The public hearings with regard to the changes in the hunting regulations this seasons got started this week and will continue through this week. So if you hasn't missed it yet, make sure you show up out there if you've got an opinion on any of those issues about adjustments in turkey season, deer seasons, waterfowl, whatever the case might be. I also have some public hearings on triggerfish that's being conducted by the Gulf Council. And be aware we're under a blue crab closure right now. Commercial harvest is totally closed until late March. The recreational fishermen are limited to hand lines and nets only. They can't use the traps right now. And there is a ban in effect on the harvest of immature females, and that goes all the way through 2019. Those steps to try to help restore the numbers, the population.
That again, about recreational fishermen fishing off their piers or people on the side of the road. Yeah. It's still legal to catch crabs.
Sure, with your collapsible net or a hand line or a fishing pole with bait
traps,
net. No traps on them. That's the only stipulation.
It's closed right now in the whole state.
Right. The other thing is that's still being debated, and that is whether we're going to allow the use of kaput, which is the poison that's been developed for the eradication of feral hogs. Texas has decided they're going to put it into effect in May. Our Department of Wildlife and Fisheries Commission is still debating about the use of it. It does have to pass muster through the Louisiana Department of Agriculture and Forestry before the Department of Wildlife and Fisheries will have the option to implement it or not. You can expect if it does get passed, you're probably going to have to get a permit, attend a class on proper application of it, because there's some side effects and some concerns about it. And I'm glad the commission has taken their time with
be cautious, because you know they're doing studies. They ain't just sitting back and say, let's see what everybody else does. Don, I'm glad you brought it up. I want to talk on this because I read Joe's article. We have somebody in Florida. Some we don't quite disagree, but he was talking about the difference between Florida and Louisiana, and there is a big difference. You know, he's a biologist over there, and so we'll be talking about it more and more. But and then next week on the show we're going to tease, because you made a hog hunt in the marsh on airboats. But what concerns me is I always wonder about if you're going to poison an animal. Now they're talking about feeders. They got a 10-pound weight lid where small animals can't get into it. Only a hog can do it. They found a coon open 123-pound lid, you know. But you start killing these small animals. What was the other poison one time they banned everywhere because it had the residual effects? Whatever ate them, fish, anybody, he would die.
Yeah, it's only used by permit. Turmeric, it's only used by permit now.
Right, but this is thing they saying it's not going to happen. But what about when the hog dies? In 3 or 4 days they say they die. What about vultures eating it?
Yeah, what about to consider?
What about coons, possums? whatever, eating them.
Well, in wartime, they refer to that as collateral damage. Now, the question becomes, do we want to sacrifice this other wildlife in the name of controlling the feral hogs? And I think it all has to be weighed out. Will the good that it does in stopping the environmental damage caused by feral hogs outweigh the loss of other wildlife?
Yeah,
and I think that's what it's going to come down to.
Landscape damage, everything you talk about.
There's also some human contamination concerns, too.
And then there's no study. Some people, you kill one with a gun, you can eat it. You can give it to the food for the hungry, you can give whatever you can do.
Unless it's on the way to dying because it ate some of the kaput and you didn't know it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. A lot of angles to it, and hopefully our department of Agriculture and Forestry and Wildlife and Fisheries will make the right decision.
They're on top of it.
Yeah,
That's one thing I said. I read Joe's article today.
Hey, very good.
They're on top of it. You can go back and look at it on the internet or whatever. They got a bunch of articles on it.
And you got some news on tournaments.
Oh, yeah, we got one more tournament. Thank God they didn't. We were talking about high school tournaments, and Southwest Junior Bass Masters is at it again. You know, just had their second state qualifier. We're going to run to some of the top leaders right now, the qualifying board for the state championship. We're going to run it on the screen. But this past weekend, the tournament is in Buras in the Spillway. Most of them went. The Spillway, by the way, the fishing report we're going to tell you, is starting to get hot. It's falling, it's falling. Ryan Lambert told me also, he says, wait till me about the second week in March, you come down here. If that river's falling, gets to a certain thing, he's going to put me on some bass. So you ain't going to be the only one catching. But right now, the Spillway is about to get hot, and they were talking about looking for that water, mixing water. But these boys were fishing in the Buras area and down in the marsh, Bob Black Marsh. Had some good weights, by the way. The first place winner in the 15 ATO was Cade Fortenberry from Prairieville. He had almost 12 pounds, 11.9. He had 5 bass. Evan Matty from Greenwood Springs come in second. Mason Faraci from Walker come in third. Big bass was Cade Fortenberry in the 11 to 14-year age groups. Trace Day, Denham Springs, had come in first with almost 10 pounds for 5 fish. Second place was J.J. Nelson, Denham Springs. Third place was Caleb Roblin from Denham Springs with 8 pounds, 5 bass. Big bass was Trace Day. 7 to 10-year-old place was Noah Roblin from Denham Springs. Rhett Martin from Gonzales. Third place was Jack Vonado from Denham Springs. Big bass is Noah Roblin. The other division was Gilbert Fortenberry from Prairieville with 11 pounds. 11.7 pounds. Look, let me tell you this though. They broke a record. 43 participants, a club record. So growing by leaps and bounds, just like you said. If you want to get involved, they got a lot of pieces. You can go on the website, go to Junior Southwest Bass Masters. You can call the state guy over there, Mr. Gene Hoover. Check it out, I'm telling you. And then look at some of them standings right now going into the state championship.
Congratulations to all the winners. And we'll be back with the late season hunting report and our Berkeley Abu Garcia fishing report here on Paradise, Louisiana. This is Don Dubuque asking you to join me as a member of the Coastal Conservation Association. For 30 years, CCA has worked in Louisiana to conserve our incredible fisheries, making sure that our fishing is great today and for generations to come. Whether looking out for redfish and specks, eliminating gill nets, building reefs across the coast, or work at the state capitol and in D.C., CCA is doing what's best for the fish and the sport we love so much. Your $30 membership will ensure that this work and our great fishing endures well into the future. Go to ccalouisiana.com and join CCA today.
Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change has been keeping cars and trucks in Baton Rouge clean and running smooth for over 50 years. At Benny's, we feature professional car washing, complete detailing, high-tech waxing and buffing, interior cleaning, and tire shine. Benny's, one stop for car maintenance with complete oil and lube services and even state inspections at our express locations. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations, including our newest store on Greenwell Springs Road. And don't forget to stop by Be Quick Convenience Store and Fuel Stop. Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change. Drive in dirty, drive out clean.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. And Gary, hunting season, everybody's not putting up the guns and the bows and the other equipment just quite yet. We're really getting into some of the prime time of some of the seasons. With all the major seasons now over with, a lot of people like me are turning our thoughts toward quail hunting on the commercial pens. I had a good trip last week. I took the two Sanchez's, Jonathan and Glenn. They left the salt water and came up to Poplarville, Mississippi at Crane Creek. I was the guide. I brought my two dogs, Gracie and Millie, did a fine job. We also had Keith Piku along, and they shot pretty well, but I got to tell you, there's a lot of trees that need some help from some of the tree doctors right now because a lot of pine trees jumped in the way of those quail. But we had a good time. A lot of people are out quail hunting, but there's a lot of rabbit hunters out. I was out hog hunting, and we'll show you some of those highlights next week. But when I went hog hunting, there were people in boats with the yeah, hunting those rabbits and doing pretty well from what I heard.
Yeah, well, like I made that trip the other day to the South Shore of Atlanta, and I seen them dog cages. They were all up. Now I was later, so them rabbit hunters were already out. They better get out. It's so hot. You know, your rabbit hunt is over at 9 or 10 o'clock. We're gonna be making a couple. I know you and I got the crew of ears coming up on Mardi Gras Day. That's going to be fun over there with the Badron. Listen, but the squirrel season is going real good. I'm also, this coming weekend, I'm going to be up there with Redneck Adventures and all them doing that squirrel hunt. We're doing it for the disadvantaged soldiers and kids and everything. They do their 20th annual. So I'll be there this weekend and bring that to you. Jacob Heath. It's another crew, it's another organization, anything outdoors. I met them at the rabbit hunt for Trinity Outdoors. These are a group of young men. They're putting things together, taking kids in mostly in Ascension Parish, but anywhere really. And they're taking them and getting them in the woods, and wheelchair kids are in the woods, and boats. They're having boats made where they're taking them out fishing in pines and lakes. They're doing a crazy job, and thanking Jacob Heath and his crew and his family. They made a squirrel hunt, sent me some pictures. I want to compliment y'all, and y'all keep in touch because Paradise, Louisiana will be involved with y'all in anything outdoors, any way we can help. And by the way, y'all helping us too. Kenny Haynes, Brobridge boys, they still handling rabbits. They went in Washington, Louisiana, and they got a good picture of some rabbits they killed and running their dogs. The other ones told me they had one cool day and a rainy day. They did pretty good, but the rest of the time you got to get them in there and get out because it gets almost 80 degrees when you get out the woods.
Well, let's talk goose conservation order. You know, the regular season's shut down. Conservation order's in effect where you can use electronic calls. You can hunt a half hour later in the evening, and you can, there's no limit. You can take the plugs out your shotgun, put magazine tube extenders. What are you hearing from the conservation order hunt?
Top Gun. Kobe Daniels sent a picture of him and the boys and everything. They hammered them last week. They got lucky. They had snow geese. I don't know how many they killed, but they had snow geese all around. It was an added attraction for him. He thought he was over. He sent me that picture for the youth hunt, and they had speckled bellies, but seemed like he still got a few geese hanging around, and thank you to Kobe for sending that picture. He also sent me a picture. He didn't have no kids in it, but you know, right now they're hunting big sac-a-lait, white perch, like they say over there. He sent me a picture of a big sac-a-lait little boy caught, full of eggs. You know, rub it in, keep teasing. Call me when they bite.
About the only other thing to mention for hunting is turkey season's not that far off. It's a good time to get out and scout the woods now and locate some of those roosting gobblers.
Yeah, some of the people say they hear them gobbling already.
Yep.
Is it wrong? You're a big turkey hunter. When you go out and scout, would it be something wrong to let them know you're in the woods? Like take a crow call, okay? See if you can get one of them to gobble.
That's what you're doing. You're just trying to locate their whereabouts, locate them, do an owl. You can even give them a little cluck, and as soon as they gobble, that's when I shut up. I don't want to make them any smarter than they are. And I think you do. A lot of it's tempting to work him even though the season's not open and call him in the range. But believe me, every time that happens to a turkey, he's a little bit smarter for the real thing.
I can call with my mouth. But
you just can't hear.
I can't hear.
Yeah, right.
You beat me to the punch.
All right, we'll be right back with the Berkeley Abu Garcia Fishing Report here on Paradise, Louisiana.
You beat me to the punch. That's good.
Hey, I'm Mitch Rotolo, owner of Rotolo's Pizzeria. Our pizzas are prepared every day using the freshest ingredients. But Rotolo's has so much more to offer than just delicious pizza. We have an array of healthy salads and tasty wraps, a wide choice of pasta like spaghetti and chicken parmesan, zesty buffalo wings, and our selection of savory calzones. And don't forget to try one of our amazing desserts. Come into any of our local restaurants or check out our entire menu online at rotolos.com. That's just the way we Rotolo.
Aggressive, modern, and durable. The latest advancement in spinning has the Revo name on it, and almost a century of fishing expertise in it. No matter where your passion takes you, world-class fishing is only a Revo away.
Welcome to the Berkeley Abu Garcia Fishing Report. And Gary, when you get into a store like Superior Bait and Tackle this time of the year, your eyes start turning to all those freshwater baits for the brim and the sac-a-lait and the bass. And I got to tell you, it's been good. I got good reports everywhere from Lake Buff to the Tickfaw to the Chafuncta River to white perch, crappie, whatever you want to call them, are showing up. But Basin's been good. Bayou Black's been good. If you like to do what's in at the time, right now, there's no better time to get after sac-a-lait than now.
Oh, yeah, them white perch, and they calling them up north. That white perch we took last week to Leader Bend is another one. If you want to catch big fish, you're talking about freshwater, you go get your guide, or if you used to fishing there, now's your time. Don't wait till March and April, because a lot of them fish with this warm weather, they spawning early. Now, there's going to be some big fish caught, but it's going to be them guys way down there deep. Mm-hmm. Right now, they're moving in the flats, they're looking. You can probably see them and throw a lizard or a jerk bait and catch you a big 10-pound fish, because they're over 30 already. So, but Donnie, we're talking about small fish. Here we are. You see how many people coming in buying jigs and stuff today. Mm-hmm. They know we're looking for the tree. Look, the tree outside is blooming. Right. You know, ain't seen no pecan trees blooming yet. But I still think this early. I got a report for a brim run on Bayou Bonfuca. Now, you say it's
I say Bonfuca.
Well, I was gonna make Italian.
That's where those Italian Indians.
Bonfuca, yeah. Italian.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's an Indian name. It's like Catawachi and all the other
right, yeah.
Yeah, okay. But Native American. I don't know if we call it Indian, but Bayou Bonfuca, Mark Navo. That sounds like an Indian name.
Probably is. There's a lot of Choctaws around that area.
And he got a string of all on crickets. He had one bass using a cricket in Bayou Bonfuca. Okay, I said it right?
Well, people are going to want to know where that is. Bayou Bonfuca actually runs through Slidell, actually. And it actually, some people call it Bayou Liberty or Bayou Bonfuca because the two actually join and become one where it gets into Lake Pontchartrain. So I've never been able to tell whether it's Bayou Liberty or Bayou Bonfuca that actually empties into Lake Pontchartrain. But it's two separate bayous that join together.
To Pearl, to Funkty, they're all running that way.
Yeah, north-south.
That's why I'm so glad I'm in Slidell right now in my camp, because you can catch freshwater, saltwater. Absolutely. Only thing we can't catch, man, let me go back to the spillway. Spillway right now is getting ready to get turned on. The marsh is already turned on. You go to Bayou Black, all them canals, Coppersaw, Orange Grove, anywhere of those places down right now, they're catching sac-a-lait, and the brim gonna turn on. I got a picture from Lake Fossey Point. Then I got, that come from Chase, Machacha. Now, you can't even say that name. You half Italian. That's Machacha.
Machacha?
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like a Machacha. No, but Chase, thank you. He catching some big sac-a-lait down in that area. But the rest of it, we talking about now, I'm going to go to offshore, right off the bat. We having tuna come here. I came in here, and Mark Matthews was telling me, he said, man, you ought to see the reports I'm getting on tuna and wahoo. I said, what about snapper, like the one behind us? It is unbelievable. Tommy Vidring, who used to send me trout pictures, he's been fishing in Buckley, with Buckley Crest, fishing in their boat. They've been limiting out on snapper. Here's a picture of the one they just caught this morning. They sent it to me early, 7 o'clock in the morning. I know the thing got to weigh at least 20-something pounds. Big snapper, by the way. And ain't taking them long, by the way. Now, going to the trout, I got the sulfur mine. You see where I was fishing. Everybody was catching fish but me. We got I say Buck Rogers, they sent this picture, which they just caught Sunday morning, in Leeville, George Speavery. The high water charters have been doing good. Tom LeBlanc has been in Sulphur Mine, sends a report every week. They were catching a few fish. Between the Sulphur Mine, Bayou Blue, Catfish Lake, they catch them on a falling tide now. You know, you can catch them, but you got to stay late in the evening. Most people don't do it. The redfish, when the tide comes in, or they either early in the morning, late in the evening. During the middle of the day, it's been terrible. So, what else I got? This is a mixture. Johnson Pass, you could, off the West Pearl. Mike Stevenson and his wife, Lady A, I call her. They caught bass. This is the secret. Live shrimp and crawfish, live crawfish. What a great trip.
All right, you familiar with a place called Point of Shin?
Yes, sir.
The marina at Point of Shin, I'm told, has established a new special kayak launch. And we got a lot of people that love to fish in kayaks, so you might want to include a visit down to Point of Shin. By the way, the fishing is pretty good. Trout and reds have been caught lately down there. Also getting good reports from out west. But you said there's some dirty water out there, so it's kind of been limited to the dead-end canals. Some of the deeper canals like the LNG, that's a real popular place down there. That's about one of the only spots that I'm getting reports of catching fish out west. Lake Pontchartrain, when the wind allows, they're still catching some on the bridges there. Waiting to get a report, probably going to be fishing there next week. Lake Catherine, I'm still getting good reports down by the Chef Pass. That whole shoreline, that western shoreline of Lake Bourne, there's been some good fish caught there. And of course the Wall, you know how that has been producing. And one really strange but very good report I caught, 3 guys in kayaks left Campos Marine at Shell Beach one day last week, simply paddled across the Mystico, started fishing, and ended up with full limits. They had 30 bass and 15 redfish right there across from the marina. So there's some good mixed fishing in that area too now.
Yeah, make sure I don't go. That's another thing. I'm still waiting
Yeah,
on my
we'll
kayak.
keep you away
Somebody
from
owes me a
there.
kayak. I'm still waiting to get it.
But they're doing you a favor.
You
They're
talking
doing
about
you a
out
favor. I
west.
hate to
I
see
didn't
you
get a
roll over.
report just recently, but last week I had some good reports from Big Lake. And the guys told me in Vermilion Bay, that Chafalai Falls like it is, they're going to be catching some fish in Vermilion Bay. And you talking about kayak, don't forget that Leeville launch right now. It opens up to everybody, and there's a lot of fish being caught in Leeville.
One more report I wanted to include. If the weather allows you to get there, because most people aren't like Tokyo Bourgeois and have the privilege of taking a seaplane out there, at Breton Islands, Curlew and Breton, they're producing, it's a mix right now. They got trout out there along with the redfish, and that's highly unusual. Usually when the reds stop in the winter, the trout come in the spring, but right now you can enjoy both if you can get access out there.
Captain Wayne Rogers, Buck Rogers, he told me the first thing he was doing, I don't know if that's what he caught him on, but he had that limit. He says this time of year, if it's a little bit foggy, he gets out there and he goes where we were fishing. He's gonna throw a topwater bait. He showed me. It's a black with a chartreuse head. By the way, the best bait they've been using right now, H&H smoked split-tail, grub, sparkle beetle, sparkle smoke color with a red dot, and some of them with a chartreuse tail. They fishing it under a jig head, no cork, or under a cork. But most of the fish that he caught the other day was on that smoke, just slow rolling and bouncing off the bottom.
All right, this little warm up we've got, we hardly had any wind at all. Live shrimp are available at most of the marinas, but you might want to give them a call because some of them don't have any available, and you don't want to make a trip down there counting on them and not being able to get them.
One more story. This time of year is nothing better than Cockahoe or Storm Minnows. Those guys down there in the camps, they're putting out the traps in an hour. They're filling those traps up. They're using dog food and minnow traps all at the mouth of those little sloughs. I said it wrong. I've been saying Tronas. They said, no, it's Trinot. I don't know how to say it. The Frenchmen talk different down there. They got a different Cajun French. But they
got different dialects.
Yeah. What you say, Tronas?
I'll say Tronas.
Yeah. Well, we're Italian, what we know.
Yeah, all right. Don't forget, continue to send your pictures, your reports, include the information, where you are, what you caught them on, and how you caught them to Gary at Paradise, Louisiana. We'll share it with our viewers. Thanks for watching. We hope you'll be back with us again next week for another edition of Paradise, Louisiana.
Go Tigers, go Coach O.
Paradise, Louisiana is presented by Rotolo's Pizzeria. Fresh ingredients, friendly service. That's just the way we Rotolo. Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. Pro Drive Outboards. Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company. Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change. Cracker Barrel Convenience Stores. We have more than you expect. Always fresh, never frozen, Raising Cane's. Louisiana Fish Fry Products. And by CCA Louisiana and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament.